If you own a Helium miner hotspot or you're thinking about buying one, the question will be always, how much tokens will I be mining every day? Is it worth it? Is it feasible? And if you own already one and you're not generating as much as you're supposed to, and you're thinking about options like upgrading your antenna, elevating your antenna, putting it in somebody else's house, and all these inquiries that you might have. So before doing any of these moves, I set up a guideline for you that you can follow. So easy, 4 steps that you just implement, and you will get all your questions answered. And this way, before you make any investment, you just get your answers right in front of you. So no further ado, let me show you around. Well, before we go to the steps, I need to clarify this thing, which is the technology behind the Helium. So you can see here, if this is your house and this is the Helium hotspot nearby you, if there's nothing in between that obstructs it, then that's when you get the maximum. If there's something like forest, so many trees that can block or in the way of the line of sight, then you will get less. So the line of sight means that I can visualize or see the other side or the network of other heliums. So just think about it. If you remember the old cordless phones at home, they would say it's up to 300 feet, if you guys still remember. But if it's the base is inside the house and you start taking outside, probably by 100 feet, then it will not get enough signal. And this is using the same technology because, some, either trees are in between, or metal, steel, concrete, whatever comes between the base and the phone, it will obstruct the maximum efficiency. So this is the same thing. If you just focus on this and understand it, because it's fairly simple. So if your Helium's hotspot can see the other Helium hotspots within the range, then you're good to go. If it's obstructed by trees, by buildings, it will still get it, but the range will decrease. So if it says 300 feet and there are trees in between, you can still get the signal at 100, 150 feet. You will not get the full capacity, right? So that's the main thing. Once you understand this, the rest is easy. So another thing, if you are by yourself, if you look it up and you see yourself alone, which we call a lone wolf, it's better that you build a network. Investing on your own with nothing around you is not 100% true that you will not make money, but it is better that you have a network. So a network is any 2 devices and more is considered a network. So if you convince any friends, families, neighbors, whatever, as long as in small cities, small town, to get this, then that's perfect. Then I can show you at the end of this video where you can apply for a free miner. So you don't even need to purchase one. So the only thing that will face you is you need to have minimum 300 meters from each hotspot. That's the only thing. Well, you cannot say like 200 kilometers, of course, but I'm just saying the minimum is 300 meters as long as you are in the same town. So what we're going to do here, we're going to use the Helium Explorer, which is you're going to find around you how many hotspots are there, which one are worth connecting to. So when we come back here, if I'm going to look for a big network and I can reach it, but I don't have access to it, that is not any good. So even if it looks downtown is here and I'm here and I'm like few kilometers, but there are so many trees, so many bridges, so many stuff in the way, that means the network is not going to be accessible as if a smaller one with a clear sight or line of sight. So that's another thing to consider. So in the Helium Explorer, we're going to see how many networks around us and which one should we connect to. So once we determine the networks that are nearby, we're going to use this website, which is the line of sight. It does it all by itself. So I will put my point and you put the network point, and you would see if there's any obstructions on the way. And again, the obstruction is your first enemy. You don't want to have anything that has obstructions, like a mountain, forget about it. A forest, forget about it, because that will obstruct the signals coming from your Helium miner. Then we're going to use the hotspot rf.com, which will be you put your data, very easy to use, and will give you an estimate of how much tokens you can earn. The good thing about this one, if let's say you want to increase your antenna, if you want to do put your Helium miner from the 2nd floor to the 8th floor, is there any difference? So for example, I have an apartment on the 2nd floor, and I have a friend that lives on the 24th floor. And I was like, okay, should I ask him if I can put my miner in his apartment? But for me, instead of asking him first, I would check it out if there is any difference in terms of earnings. If there's a huge difference that I see, it's, hey, why not? I'll ask him, I'll give it a chance. I'm going to be making extra $1,000 a month. So that's why this is good. And then we can reflect this on Google Earth, and we will see all of this later. So the first thing we're going to come to, helium.com, and I'm going to take you step by step. So you're going to click on the top here, Explorer. On the top right, you're going to see the coverage map. I'm going to take my city as an example. Which is in Ottawa, Canada. One thing to note, you can see I've done a video around 10 days ago, and you can see miners have increased by, I would say, triple or quadruple. I mean, there were only 7 or 10 probably. So that's another thing that you need to consider. The amount they are producing around, or shipping actually now, around in total, I think about 600 or 700 devices a day. So for all of the world, of course, but you can see how even Ottawa as a small city have increased. So once you order, do not follow you can do these steps, but by the time your device arrives, you're gonna see a different map. You're gonna see a lot of people next to you. So once it arrives, you do your final judgment. Do not do your feasibility study now and you say, okay, I'm gonna take it to my father's-in-law's house. I think it's better. No, just wait for it when it comes. Because like now, I can see at least 15, 20 that are brand new. So I'm right here. I live right here, this spot. So this is downtown. And these are 2 spots. So the first thing I want to see if they are doing well. So if I click on rewards, he's not connected to anybody. He's making 1.5 for a whole month. Well, actually, it's not even 30 days. So I think he just got it. So Would I connect to him? Yes or no? I'll tell you why yes or no in just a second. So would I connect to this guy? Click view, hotspot details, and I would check the rewards. Oh, he's making 30, but is he connected to anybody? No, he's not. So the question is, these guys are not doing very well, and I live here. So should I connect to downtown? If I'm gonna connect to downtown, I think I'm gonna see a good network for sure. Yeah, see, everyone is connected, and I'm sure if I click on the rewards, this guy is making around $3,000 a month. So that's a network that it's worth it. Now, worth it or not worth it comes to, can I access this network or not? So what we're gonna do is, remember, we're gonna go to this website, scadacor.com tools. I'm gonna have the link in the bottom and the description. So it's called the offline. So this is the website. So I'm gonna go to my city. So I'm gonna click here. So now I have these two spots. So this is my house. Remember, this is the guy I wanted to connect to. So this is exactly what you need to do. There's nothing else you need to do except to pinpoint exactly where you live and pinpoint exactly where these guys live. And this way it will show you the terrain. So here's an obstruction. It's only one obstruction that is not so bad. So I'm gonna look for the second one, which was here, and let's see. Again, my main point is access the network. If I cannot access the network, then it's useless. So for here, I have a small obstruction. So what I can do, if I build an antenna on top of my house to 2 meters and then 3 meters, and see how long does it take for me to actually come over the obstruction. So 36 meters is not a feasible thing. Obviously you can, but I'm just saying, for my case, it's not worth it. Let me see if I can connect to, let me see if actually this is my exact location. Actually, it's this one here. Yeah, this is exactly where I live. See, it's good. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Canada Lakes. Okay, this is my exact location. see if I increased it just by 1 meter, or actually no need for antennas, it's green. So I can connect to this guy here, right? So if I have a green signal, then it's worth it. If I don't have a green signal, and let's say if I put 3 meters and it would solve this problem, then this is what you're supposed to do. As long as you kind of assess which one is more important, so if you have two networks, one is almost impossible to connect with because there's a mountain, then there's no need to waste time or spend money, because if you're gonna build a 100-meter antenna, which is impossible for you to achieve this, then that's not possible. So you need something that is kind of accessible. So this is good, but I would love to connect to downtown because we thought it was nice and busy. So if I put it here, let's see the results. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. If I increase it, I actually have it in green, but I'm afraid that I might hit a spot here. So here, I have 18 kilometers. So what I need to do is buy probably a better, more powerful antenna. And if I move this to this side of downtown, then let's see what's going to happen. So this side, I'm facing a big problem. If I increase it by 100 meters, it will not solve my problem. It has to be 110. So this does not make sense. If it's 5-10 meters, that's about 10 to 30 feet. That is something reasonable. So in this case, this is not something I want to do. Again, we have to think in a different way. We have to think we need to connect to a network through our hotspot. That's the main thing. However, if we cannot connect to it because of so many trees, so many buildings, so those are obstructions that if it's not solved by 2 to 10 meters elevation, then because you need to have elevation and then you need to install a bigger DPI or antenna for you to reach this far. However, if let's say I want to connect to this side of town and not necessarily to all of them, and then we can see, yes, it is kind of somehow achievable. If I increase it by 1, it's not from my side, it's from their side. So anyways, this is the second website that I use, right? So the first, which is Helium Explorer. I need to find which one is the best for me. So this one's actually very close to me, and this is very, very new. So I'm here. I can try to connect to these guys because I am sure this is a line of sight for me. It's very easy, and I can show you right here because I know the terrain, not because so if I have here, because this is like, river. Well, actually there's a forest, so but I can connect to here. Yeah, so I have a clear sight for here. Anything behind this forest, I would have some difficulties. So now you need, to have understanding of the terrain and of the obstructions for you to decide, okay, which one is the perfect ideal example for you. So now let's go into this magical website. Here, once you sign in for free, you're going to receive an email, and you have to confirm your email. And once you do that, they give you 10 credits to search for free. So you just fill in this information here, and what you have to do, I have 10 simulation credits. This will give you an exact simulation. So what are you going to go here, click on portal right here. Yes, this is a good reminder. For you guys that live in the US, once you order your device, the hotspot for Helium, the frequency that are used in North America is the 915. In Europe, it's the 800, 868. And you can see the rest here. If you don't know what country, your country, which one does it use, you can check out So I came here to downtown, and this is the point where I have access to put my device here to one of my relatives. So here, because in the US we use, in Canada we use the 915, so I choose this one as the frequency. The antenna, it's whatever miner you buy. So if you buy Bobcat miner, it comes with built-in 4 dpi. So I'm gonna put the 4 dpi. Cable loss, if you are not setting up an external antenna, then just 0. If you're installing, you have to calculate the length of the cable. That's as simple as it is. And if you're using copper and it's less than 2 meters, then you should be fine. Now the height, it depends on where you're putting it. If it's, this one is at the 10th floor, so it's 5 times 10 is 50. This is in my case. On 50 feet, this is in meters. Yeah. And this is, I would say, urban. Now, I'm gonna waste 1 credit on this just to show you guys around. So why did I choose this? Because I'm urban. I chose downtown instead of my house, and this is on the 10th floor. So this is exactly, so the frequency is for the country. The antenna, it's what you buy and what comes with your helium spot. The cable loss, if you're installing an external antenna that is less than 2 meters, then you're fine. You should keep the 0. The height of where you're placing your helium spot. So it's, mine is at 50 meters, and then it's urban because it's in downtown. Yeah, if you're in the suburbs, if you're in a wooded area or clear line of sight. So I'm gonna simulate, and this will give me a clear idea of how much I should earn. The more you are clear on these inputs, then you're good. See, this is how good this network is. Okay, this is good. So everything green is perfect. The further you go, obviously it's less credits. But in this area where you can see all these hotspots are here. So it is probably a smart idea to keep it in here, because I can still reach those guys, I can reach those guys, I can reach those guys, and I can reach actually everyone. But in downtown, I'll be doing very well. So now, the reward scale legend, I'm gonna do another video about it, but it's very simple. If it's green, that's the maximum you get. Blue is not bad. Light blue is less. Red is the things that you don't want. So in my case, even the light blue here and dark blue are good. So I have everyone in my area. So if you increase, in this case, the height, because that's the line of sight, I'm gonna have higher. If I put it on the second floor, so it's 10 meters, I'm gonna see less exposure. And that explains the line of sight. That's the importance of line of sight. It's the exposure, the access to the other helium spots. So if you think that, okay, what if I increase my antenna, right? It will be here. So if you're in a house and your house is 3 floors or 2 floors, and each floor is what, let's say 9 feet, so 18 feet, and you install another 8 feet antenna cable from the second floor, not from the top of your house, then you calculate the total and you put this height here, and it will give you the right answer. So now what you can do is we can download this KMZ and we go to Google Earth to visualize how it works. So we'll do this for now. Sorry guys, before going to Google Earth, I need to show you something. First, when you click on the simulate location, you're gonna see the reward scale is 0.63, which is not perfect, but it's not bad. Again, you need to remember that I cannot connect to 300 meters or closer than that. So this area here, I cannot connect to any of them. I can connect to the green ones here, which are okay, but I think I'm in the center kind of thing. So I'm too close, maybe to 4 or 5 here. So still not bad. If I have another location, which I do, then I go there and compare which one will get me better results. So to visualize this better, if you know the city very well, then you go to, after you download the KMZ, you go to Google Earth, and what we're going to do is go to projects, So we'll go to projects, open the KML file from computer. Here we go. So this is reflected on Google Earth. So again, if you know the city very well, this will give you a clear idea. Now, if I go back here, and let's say I want to test my house. What if my house is actually better than this? Or actually, I have another location that I was thinking about. So just give me a second. So guys, going back here, I have another option that I might be considering, which is here. So it's the same thing. It's on the 3rd floor. So let's say 26 feet. And it's urban. So I want to simulate this to see which one is better for me, right? Remember here, the reward scale was 0.63. And here, I think it'll be better. I should have done the line of sight RF, but I know that it's kind of a top hill. Interesting. So I got here, although it's not in downtown, but I got a reward scale of 1. But safe zone, distant from point. But see, there's a lot of obstruction in front of me. And because I'm 26 feet, I don't have the leverage of the line of sight. Remember here on the 10th floor, things were crazy. So now, although the reward scale is 1, but I don't even reach out these guys. While I was here, everything in here, it's in my restriction area. So see, the height and elevation is a big player in this game, huge player. So I think I'm gonna go back here. It makes more sense, but I'll do more research. Again, mine are are gonna be coming soon. So when they come, I will see who else has installed and put their hotspots on. So now for the good news. More videos are coming, more interesting videos on new prices for new miners, why they're cheaper. I mean, you will be able to see mining equipment hotspots for $150 to $200. They're not out yet, so they're about to come in a few months. For the meantime, they have less features. So if you jump now, you earn more, but after maybe 2 years, 3 years, you and the free hotspot, the ones that come for a cheaper price, they have less features. So this will be on the next video. Also, we'll be talking about the new scams that people are just coming up and trying to steal people's money through very smart ways that I have detected. And like I said, also think about this as a network. So for you, you can go and check this website, emirate.io. These guys have invested money and got all these devices for mining for free. They give it out to you for free. They invested the money, but they're giving it for free, and they actually ship it to you for free as well. So if you have one and your neighbors are willing to take a free one because they don't want to invest, then this is a perfect example for you to build your network. Again, think about it. It's a network. You need to connect with each other. So the more you have on a smaller scale, like in a small town, and you guys are 300 at least meters apart, then and you don't people you know them, they don't want to invest, then they can apply here. I already applied myself, and I can give you two good tips. The first tip: they need your address that you're going to install this device. The reason they need it, and they will decide whether to send you one or not, is because of your address, because they have invested the money and they have devices that are ready to be shipped now, but they want to make sure that they're shipped to people that have a network. So if you are a lone wolf and they're like, why should we send you one and you'll not be earning while we can give it to someone else? So if you there's two ways to deal with this. First deal is you pick an address where there's a network. So if you have somebody that lives downtown and there's like few of them there, and you're gonna ask your friend or whoever lives there, is like, can I put your address? If he doesn't want it and they don't mind. Or if you live in a big community, but it's a small in terms of area, and you know 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of them, and you're like, hey guys, how about we all get this free one, and we build our own network. In exchange of you getting all of this for free, the company would keep obviously 80% of the tokens that are mined to themselves, and they will give you 20%. Again, this is zero cost dollar for you, and they incur all the cost and the shipping and everything. So it's pretty decent. For me, I bought some miners, Bobcat miners, and I applied for this. But if I put my friend's address in downtown, they would have approved it immediately. So it is what it is. Again, try it out. I don't see why not. This is great. And if you guys are wanting to know more of what's coming, what's the new mining equipment that are be coming into the market, probably by the end of this year or next year, then subscribe, and we'll update you in a matter of days. Again, any comments, I would love to hear them. I hope that I fixed some of the things that people pointed out from last video, and we'll see you next time.